On our left-hand side, the final of the women's over 40 double. Closest to the camera from New Zealand, we have Sarah Sandley and Joanne Shaw, and their opponents from Victoria, Belgian Bennett and Lan Zai. Currently, the New Zealanders are leading 8-4. A nice little edge net from Belgium makes it 8-5. On our right-hand side, we have the final of the men's over 40 doubles between, in the lighter coloured shirts, from New South Wales, Hin Tran and Kia Tran, and their opponents from Victoria, Shamara Fernando and Danny Semler. Shamara and Danny have taken the first game. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, the New Zealand ladies have now just taken the first game, 11 points to 7. Our right-hand side, we have Danny Semler from Victoria to serve. A big shot from Hin Tran comes back, drawing an error from Kia Tran. Serve, which was a fault. I'm sorry. It was not a fault. It was not able to be returned by Kia Tran. Lovely piece of work there by Danny Semler, drawing Kia way out of position to take the point. They lead 3-love in the second game.
Whatever the one is at Ryan, YouTube.com/.
Big serve by Shamara brings up a 6-0 lead in the second game, and a fault from Hin Tran. That's unusual in doubles, trying to keep the ball very short so that Danny could not do anything. And a beautiful return from Shamara. 8-0 in the second game. Will the boys be able to score a point? Yes. A high topspin from Kia brings an error from Shamara. 9-1. They are down. Meanwhile, the ladies, we have 2-all in the second game. Hard drive brings an error from Lan. 3-all now in the second game. Lan Zai serving. Lovely return brings an error from Belgium. Oh, beautiful. A hit from Joanne Shaw. Beautifully put away by Lan Zai. 4-all in the second game. Meanwhile, on the right-hand court, the Victorians combination of Danny Semler and Shamara Fernando have taken the second game 11 points to 5 and lead 2 games to love. Lovely backhand topspin from Lanzai. Oh, that's a minor glitch in the scoring. It's now 7-5 for the New Zealand pairing. Now 8-5 after drawing an error from Belgium. Nice low return, wide to the forehand. Net from Belgium brings it up 8 points all. A big wild swing from Joe Shaw gives the lead for the first time to the Victorian. And a nice top spin from Belgium brings up game point, 10-8 in the second game. Oh, a beautiful recovery from Joe Shaw where she's going to wide down her forehand to bring the error from Lanzai. Yes, and now it's 1 game all with the Victorian pair winning the second game 11-9. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, the Victorians, Semler and Fernando, continue to be driving that ball very hard, and the 2 Trans are having a lot of trouble stopping them. Now 4-all in the third game, with Hin Tran to serve. Stay with the play on the right-hand side where the Victorian pairing of Shamara and Danny have now got out to an 8-6 lead, leading 2 games to love. But Danny Semler to serve. A little serve which he took the spin off the ball, confused Hin Tran and made it 9 points to 6. Beautiful roll from Shamara. But the error from Kia Tran is down 4 match points, 6-10 down. Nice little serve from Hin Tran, but an error from Shamara. And beautiful off forehand from Kia Tran. Have Danny Semler no chance of getting it back. Still 2 match points. Beautiful drive by Shamara brings up the winning point, 11-8 in the third. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, the New Zealand girls jumped out to a 7-1 lead in the third game. Belgian Bennett to serve, down 1-7 to Sarah Handley. Attempted drive from Lanzai, unsuccessful, 1-8. A lovely rally there with the New Zealand girls dominating to finish it off. Sarah to serve, 10-1 up in the third game. Beautiful cross-court drive on the backhand. Game point 11-1 in the third game. Fourth game to commence with Jo serving. Nice little forehand side spin and top spin from Sarah. Brought the error from Belgium. I think they have to keep it away from that wicked forehand of Jo Shaw's. Just that little flick at the end of the topspin brought the error from Jo Shaw. 2 points all. Go all the way around if you go on the other side. At 3-5 now with the Jo Shaw to serve, it would appear that this order suits the Victorian girls much better than the other one. Nice little drive from topspin drive from Belgium, brought out up a further error, 3-6. Oh, most unusual to see her miss the ball like that. She's been playing that forehand so brilliantly. Lovely serve from Lan, brings up the error from Sarah. 8-4 now, the Victorian girls lead. 9-4, cramping Jo in her forehand. Oh, we're now 10-4 to the Victorian girls to even the match up. There it is, it's 11-4 in the fourth game. So it's 2 games all that are decided to come up. It's the 5th and final game. The girls will change ends and receivers of service when one of the teams reaches 5 points. Oh, there's a fall from Lan's eye. I hope she's all right. Yes, she seems to be okay. She just dragged out of position. Her feet got caught, as it sometimes unfortunately happens. She's up and moving around. They're having a timeout, an injury timeout to let her recover. It seems as though she's all right. The timeout is over. The Victorian girls are ready to start again, and with Jo Shaw to serve, 2-1 up in the 5th. 3-1. Serve from Belgium brings a wide return from Sarah. (4-2) to the New Zealand pairing. (5-2), and now they change of ends. Lan is still not moving very well, but they're down 2-5. A change of receiver as well. Big backhand from Lan. That ankle seems to be giving her a lot of trouble. Down 2-6 the Victorian pairing. Oh, a wild swipe. 3-6. That's more like the play where we've been seeing from Joe with a big forehand topspin. Oh, beautiful. The Victorian girls are manoeuvring and with Land putting that one wide down the forehand. Oh, bad luck. Very difficult to come back from here.
Come on.
Oh, a little net from Sarah. Brings up 9-5. Beautiful big forehand from Land. Her ankle's obviously still giving her trouble because she's not. Her footwork is usually brilliant and she's struggling to get the position. Seven 9 with Belgium to serve. Beautiful drive down the line from Lanzai. Oh no, she seems to be moving a little better now. Timeout called by the New Zealand girls. Remembering each team is entitled to one timeout per match. Oh, a nice little shot from Belgium brings the error. 9 all in the fifth. Oh, yes. Nice rally there. Forcing an error from Joe. Against all the odds, the Victorians now have one match point. There it is. And a net from Joe, and a big apology saves the match point. 10 points all in the fifth game. The girls are conferring about what sort of serve Land should make. There it is. Joe and Sarah from New Zealand are now in front, 11-10. One match point to them with Sarah to serve. Oh, a big hit from Joe brings up a 12-10 in the fifth game. Congratulations to the New Zealand girls. From the camera, from South Australia, Scott Houston, and from Victoria, Shamara Fernando. Beautiful backhand drive from Shamara, brings up a 1-3 scoreline. Very difficult in doubles with someone playing like Shamara with that big forehand flick to stop them from doing that on your serve. It looks very easy, but it's not. Paul Langley is a former Australian champion who made a comeback a few years ago. And Dennis Makeling was a Victorian champion. Scott Houston has been around for a while now as well. Is Scott now serving to Dennis? It's 7-4 in the first game. And a lovely little serve brings the error from Dennis. Because of the alternate hits in doubles, the situation is that it is generally accepted that left and right-handed combinations are better because they don't tend to cross over in front of each other much. The footwork required is totally different. There's a bit of a problem with the ball here. Balls have recently been altered, so previously celluloid balls were used, now plastic, and we're still trying to get the perfect ball. First game being won 11-4 by Shamara and Scott. Touch shots. Bring up, saving 2 game points. And meanwhile, we now have Dennis serving to stay in the game. Beautiful shot by Scott, brings up an 11-8. 2 games to love to win. Meanwhile, on the right-hand table, a net causes an error from Sarah to give 2 game points to Sarah Hershey and Joe Roberts. One-point save with an attempted backhand topspin by Joe. High down Sarah's backhand, brings up the first game to Sarah Hurley and Joanna Roberts from New Zealand, who now lead 1-0. Left-hand table, Paul Langley serving in the third, brings an error from Dennis, down love 1. Beautiful flick forehand shot by Shamara, gave no chance to return. Nice touch shot from Dennis, cross court. Lovely shot from Paul, had Scott way out of position, drew him wide down his forehand, but he put it away for a big forehand winner. After dominating the point, Scott just slightly over hits. 2-3, Dennis serving. 3-all. Those little serves look very easy to get back, but they're very difficult to control. Lovely shot by Paul, wide down Scott's forehand, draws the error. (5-3) to Dennis and Paul Langley. Meanwhile, on the right-hand table, after winning the first game, Sarah and Joanne are now leading 4-2 in the second. (2-5) with Sarah Sandy serving. Beautiful shot. Sarah Hurley drawing them out of position to start off with and finally killing the point, leading 6-2. Oh, lovely backhand from Joe Shaw. 3-6. Meanwhile, on the left-hand table, Scott Houston serving at 5-6 down to Dennis Makeling. Dennis returns the ball with Shamara with a nice little topspin drive, backhand drive. 6-all. Oh, what a lovely exchange that was from all the players hitting their ball. And Paul Langley putting it away for a magnificent winner. And Scott Houston had absolutely no chance of returning. And another big drive from Paul Langley, 8-6. Meanwhile, on the right-hand table is game point in the second game, with Sarah Sandley serving. A large, long return from Sarah Hurley, 10-5. 11-5. 2 games to love. Right. We'll stay with the left-hand side now, where Shamara Fernandez serving to Paul Langley. Beautiful return from Paul to Scott wide, but Dennis was unable to take the point. No, 9 points to 7. Nice return. Dennis attempting a backhand topspin. You'll notice the signalling. The signalling indicates to your partner what spin you are going to place on the ball when you serve it. 9 points all. Scott Houston and Shamara Fernando within 2 points of victory. Beautiful little touch return from Dennis. 10-9. They now have 1 game point. That's it. It is lovely return again. 11-9 in the third. Scott Houston and Shamara Fernando lead 2 games to 1. Third game has started on the right-hand table. The big serve from Joe Shaw. 1-0. Sarah Hershey now to serve. Oh, lovely shot. Although out of position, managed to hit it away for a winner. These tournaments cannot be run without the assistance of our sponsor, and I'm very pleased to announce that the sponsors that we have looking after us this year, our major sponsor is the RBK Proprietary Limited, makers of the Mother Nest health food products. And our second major sponsor are the Japanese company Sanai, who are producing all the table tennis equipment to actually produce the tables that were used in the recent Olympic Games at Rio. Lovely drive from Sarah Sandley, set up a forehand winner for Joe Shaw. Nice little touch return from Joe Shaw through the error from Sarah Hurley. What a beauty. Meanwhile, on the left-hand table, Scott Houston and Shamara Fernando have skipped out to a 4-0 lead in the third game. Now 4-0 after drawing the error from Dennis. Let's serve. Love 6 now with Paul Langley to serve to Shamara. Love 7 is a long way back here now. Oh! That's a small technical hitch on the right hand side. The scoreboard just coming unstuck. On the left-hand side now, Shamara is continuing to dominate with that beautiful backhand hit, and they're leading 9-0 in the fourth game. Nice return there from Dennis. Allows them to break through to 1-9. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Joanne Roberts serving 8-7 up in the third game. Lovely serve. Draws the error from Joe Shaw. There it is on the left-hand side. It's all over. 11-1 in the fourth game. Shamara and Scott are the winners. And in the ladies, it's now 10-8. With Sarah Hurley to serve.
Hãy subscribe cho kênh Ghiền Mì Gõ để không bỏ lỡ studios and this is that's an active street video. It's converted to Wirecast Studio. One for Wirecast is out there. You have to buy the Wirecast Studio. The YouTube side.
YouTube side.
Or if you go to a Facebook page,
So you go to YouTube. If someone wants to watch it right now, they can go to YouTube first.
well, if they got Facebook, they can have a straight Facebook page. Hopefully, it will be a live stream. Fine, if you go to YouTube, you can find go to Facebook.
I know someone who comes from I see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just tell me about it.
So it's going all over Australia.
It's going all over the world.
Gentlemen, turn around. If you've got a second, I'm going to introduce you to James Rowe, who's RBK. RBK from Mother Nest is the sponsor here.
We have the final of the 40 and over men's singles between closest to the camera, Bao Tran from Vietnam and Paul Langley from South Australia. Paul serving 1 point all in the first game. The service by Bao Tran very difficult to pick the amount of spin on it, and so it could take Paul a while to get used to that serve. Beautiful cross-court shot from his backhand at Bao Tran. Gave Paul Langley no chance. Bao Tran to serve, leading 5-1 in the first game. A lovely wide forehand push by Paul Langley. Drew the arrow from Bao Tran. Paul now lead, coming back to 3-5 in the first game. Oh, another lovely little backhand flick wide down Bao Tran's forehand. No chance of getting that back. After being down 4-1, he's now come back to 5-all. Bao Tran to serve. Paul Langley seems to have caught him a number of times with that little push wide down his forehand. And then just a change of tactics to 7-5. Ladies and gentlemen, for these games to progress, we need to have sponsorship, and our sponsors today are RBK Nutraceuticals Proprietary Limited, who are health food supplements, all Australian-made health food supplements, and we are very proud to have them as our sponsor, and the Sanai Company of Japan, who are the suppliers of table tennis equipment. These tables that you see here are their tables, and they were actually used at the recent Rio Olympics. Sorry, not these actual tables, but these similar ones. Bautran seems now to have worked out that wide push down his forehand, come back to 7-8. For a lovely fast serve, which Paul couldn't quite keep under control. 8 points all. Oh, nice little push. Cramped Paul up on his forehand side. He's expecting it to be wider. Oh, beautiful serve. Bautran expecting it wide down his forehand, cramped him into the backhand court. 9 points all. On my left-hand side, we have the over 60 men's singles between Paul Pinkovich closest to the camera and from New South Wales, and Brian Berry from Victoria. We might stay with the right-hand court for a moment because Bautran is leading 10-9 in the first game. And all after he went for that shot, thought he had it covered, but no, it's 10 all. With Paul Langley to serve, one point for each, one serve for each player now until there's a lovely off forehand by Paul Langley, brings him 11-10 and game point. Paul Langley, in that long rally, just took the pace off the ball. Confused bow, and now leads 1 game to 0. On my left-hand side, we now have Paul Pinkovich and Brian Berry. This is a very old rivalry between these two. They've played each other so many times they each know each other's game. Paul currently leading 5-1 in the first game. Paul, incidentally, first represented Australia as a teenager and has actually represented Australia something like 280 times in table tennis. He is the most capped table tennis player in fact, he was the most capped sports player in Australia until a few years ago when a hockey player overtook him. He's now continued playing ever since, and is still very, very difficult for the younger players to defeat. He's now leading 7-3 in the first game against Brian Berry. Brian is deliberately taking the pace off the ball so that Paul doesn't have much to work on there. Oh. 7-5 to Paul Pinkovich. Paul expecting that ball to be deeper. Now 7-6. Brian coming back very strongly. This could be very close, this game, and now it's 7-all. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Paul Langley is 3-loving in the second game and has just served a let serve. Another let serve. The umpire usually signals this by raising their arm. Beautiful shot by Bautran. Equally as good by Paul Langley, giving him a 0.4 love. Bautran to serve. Paul has now skipped away to lead 5 love in the first game, in the second game. Oh yes. Just when Bow looked as though he had that 0.1, Paul forces an error from his bat. 6 love in the third, and toweling down is allowed. Meanwhile, on the left-hand court, Bryan, after having given away a large start to Paul Pinkovich, is now in front, 10 points to 8, and now 10-9. This is about what we expected from these two old adversaries. And a lovely backhand topspin by Paul brings up 10-all, saves the game point. Sends Bryan on a long walk to pick up the ball. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Bautran is serving a 1-7 down. And Paul Langley goes for a wild backhand hit. After one moment on the left-hand side, after being down 10-9, Paul Pinkovich is now back to 11-10 up. And a beautiful forehand drive by Bryan Berry into the stomach of Paul. Saves the game point. Very much cat and mouse in this point between the two older adversaries. Big forehand by Bryan. And he leads 12-11 now, and he has the 1 game point. Beautiful return by Paul. Went for the forehand. Bryan anticipated it and now leads 1 game to love, 13-11. Meanwhile, on the right-hand court, Paul Langley is now serving for this game to lead 2-0, 10-5 in the second game. Oh, Bautran managed to pull an error from Paul's forehand. Still 4 game points. Yes, we've got that forehand, backhand rallying. Bautran to come back again. There it is again, ladies. You know, that wide push down Bautran's forehand that he's having so much trouble with allows Paul to win that game 11-7, now leading 2 games to 0. The left-hand court at the start of the second game with Bryan Berry from Victoria leading by 1 game to 0. Something you don't see very often from Bryan is a missed forehand shot. Oh, a very lucky net from Bryan, giving him a lead of 2-1. Yes, and Brian was anticipating Paul hitting that wide down his forehand, but he confused him with the angle, and for a big winner, 2-all. Yes, a high top spin by Paul, but Brian was unable to put away, overhitting it fairly much. There's that whipping forehand by Brian. Paul comes in with something he doesn't do a lot of actually, is a backhand hit. And that surprised Brian set up a 5-2 lead for Paul. And Brian back with it, make it 3-5 with his serve to come. On the right hand court, Beltran down 2 games to love, serving. Paul Langley just overhits that return. Looks very simple, but a lot of work on the serve. 2 points all with Paul to serve. Again, he's forced that error from Paul. Oh, a couple of lovely combination shots by Beltran. Gives him a 4-2 lead. On the left-hand court, Brian Berry is down 5-7 against Paul Pinkovich with the serves to come. Recall that Paul actually had a large lead in the first game, and Brian overhauled him. He's Brian now down 5-8, and an edge from Paul. Brings up a 9-5 lead. It's unplayable, those edges. An error from Brian. Paul now has 5 game points. And there it is. He's even the match up. 11-5 in the second game. 1 game all. The battle continues on the right-hand side with Paul Langley down 4-5 in the third game. He's serving a beautiful forehand. Straight down the middle. Surprised Beltran, who expected it to be at his backhand. Oh, what a lovely combination from Paul. Little push cut down the forehand, then down wide down the backhand, and finally a forehand drive straight down the line. Beltran to serve, down 5-6. Lovely return, flick return from Paul Langley. Leading 7-5. Langley to serve. Leading 7-5 after the fouling down. Oh, a nice little put. Beltran is having a lot of trouble with that off forehand. Not hard hit. Now timeout call. Timeout by Beltran. And it's a good timeout actually, because he's within 3 points of losing the match. The third game is about to commence with Paul Pinkovich serving to Brian Berry on the left-hand side. easy to see how the game has evolved. The way that Paul Pinkovich and Brian Berry are playing the game is the style that evolved in the 70s and 80s, the last century. The style we see being played by Paul Langley and Bao Tran is actually the way that the game has evolved. We may stay with Paul Langley and Bao Tran because Paul is now within 2 points of the match. Bao serving and 5-9 down. There's that little push down wide down the forehand again. And again that's drawn an error from Bao. 5 match points. Oh, what a good serve. Completely confused. Paul was expecting a slower one, but a fast serve wide down his forehand. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. That big forehand of Paul Langley's got a weapon. Allows him to win 11-6 in the third game. Meanwhile, Brian Berry from Victoria and Paul Pinkovich are neck and neck with a big forehand from Paul, making 3-all. That Paul Pinkovich is using is actually what we call a combination bat, where it has a standard rubber on the forehand side, which allows him to hit. But the red rubber that you will see that he's using is a rubber which tends to take the spin off the ball. You will also see occasionally that Paul will swap that round so that he will have the red rubber on his backhand for a while. And he might change it and put it on his forehand. This is designed, the combination confuses the hitter. Oh yes, very good return from Paul. But Brian expected a little wider and missed it completely. Very difficult when you're playing someone like Paul, a defender who will get into a rhythm, and it's very, very difficult once he's in that rhythm to break up the rhythm. That's what Brian has been trying to do. And Paul now leading 9-4 in the third game. A net from Brian and an apology. Now 5-9. Little backhand flick from Brian off that red rubber. Another lovely little backhand flick there. 10-6, but with still 4 game points from Paul. Very nice shot from Brian to get Paul out of position, but back into it and net. Yes, Paul fought very, very hard. It didn't really ever appear to be in that point. 11-6 in the third game. Paul Pinkovich leading 2 games to 1. On our far court now, we're watching the final moments of the over 60 women's final, where Tanya Sulamova, closest to the camera from New Zealand, is leading Alice Abbas from South Australia. No, it's now 9-all in the fifth game between Alice Abbas from South Australia and Tanya Sulamova. Tanya to serve with a let serve. Alice, you will notice, is a pen holder grip and now has match point. Tanya serving down 9-10. Pen holder grip players are very, very difficult when they hit that forehand. Oh, and a net allows her to win in 5 games, 11-9 in the fifth. Meanwhile, back on, we have Paul Pinkovich and Brian Berry, with Paul Pinkovich leading 2 sets to 1, and Brian attempting to come back into the game. Had Paul all over the place there, but Paul managed to scramble it back to lead 1-0. Lovely serve from Brian. Brian's finding it very difficult to break through Paul's defences here, and he's starting to show a few signs of frustration. He's down 1-3. I imagine he will try and change the game very shortly, but Brian is extremely adept at doing that. A net from him allows him to win 3-2. Oh! Paul comes right back at him with a net of his own, 4-2. Yes, after a long rally with both players working the other around the court, Paul Pinkovich now leads 5 points to 2. Oh, yes, Paul 6-2 with a big high topspin from Paul that Brian tried to put away, but unsuccessfully. Yes, Paul. I think Paul confused himself about what sort of rubber he was using on his forehand then. 3-6 to Brian. An error from Brian, and Paul leading now 7-3. Forcing Paul now leading 7-4 with hard luck on Brian's part. Second bounce, 8-4 Paul. Remembering we can have players are allowed to towel down after every 6 points. Error by Brian, and Paul now leads 9-4 in the fourth game. 2 points away from victory. Lovely shot by Paul. Now he brought up 6 match points. Oh, a wild forehand. It's something we haven't seen too much of him. This time was a bit too long. 10-5. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. 11-5 in the fourth game to Paul Pinkovich over Brian Berry from Victoria. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll now have the presentation of the over men's and women's doubles, 50 over men's and women's doubles, 61 over men's and women's doubles, and the 75 over men's and women's doubles. We please congregate in the playing area. Thank you for
could do that shortly.
going well there, Ted.
No rest of the wicket, is there?
No, there is not.
Neither of these two games should take too long. This Yao Xiaolin is a class player who was up till recently was the coach of the Chinese army team, and was a professional player in China himself. He's now residing in Sydney because his two daughters finished their education here and are now permanent residents of Australia. I don't know. He's a really nice man, actually.
I've been looking.
Have you looked before?
Oh, well, I did, but everything.
Well, there's lots of them over the other side.
On the other side, yeah. Why everybody this side?
Because it's quicker to get out.
Quicker, yeah.
All right. I think Patsuya will beat Swing pretty easily, and Gao Xiaolin will beat Wayne pretty easily.
I think so.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
Gao is a class. He's out here a couple of years.
Fire.
Well, he's out here a couple of years ago and played in the
Oh, wow.
and subsequently beat Patsuya.
I watched when we got through.
Yeah. Yeah.
That will be a good match.
Yeah.
Richo
Yeah, I think she'll probably depends whether Erica can stuff her up in the shot. Yeah. All right, we're ready to start. Ladies and gentlemen, we're starting the final of the 50 and over men's singles. And closest to the camera is Wayne Higginbotham from New South Wales. His opponent, Xiaolin Gao, formerly of China, who is now residing in New South Wales. Xiaolin Gao is now serving, laying down love 2. He is a well-known coach in China. Been established for many years. He's also a top technician who has, if you're after a table tennis book and can read Chinese, he has written an excellent book which you could take. On the right hand side, the over 30 men's singles between two people from New South Wales, Tatsuya Hidaka, closest to the camera, and Swing Tran. Tatsuya now leading 2-0 and has a very big serve which is very, very difficult to control. Swing has had trouble with the first two serves which have gone too long. He's down love 4 in the first game. Tatsuya is putting the pressure on him and made him overhit. Meanwhile, back on the left-hand court, Xiaolin Gao with a beautiful backhand block has raced to 6-3 against Wayne Higginbotham. He's gone for the forehand, he had Wayne out of position but just missed it. 6-4 in the first game. Let call when the ball from the other court came in. In the meantime on court 2 it's 7-1, 8-1 now to Tatsuya. Back to the left-hand court, a little net from Wayne, rigs up 5-6. Very difficult to get those nets back at that pace. Attempted backhand topspin shot by Wayne. It's gone long. He now down 5-7 with the serve to come. On the right hand side, Tatsuya has convincingly won the first game, 11-1 against Swing Tran. But now Wayne Higginbottom to serve, 6-7 down. A long return from Shaolin Gao, as Wayne was unable to put away. Took the pace off the ball to Shaolin Gao and made him consequently miss it completely. That's a lovely cross-court backhand push coming at pace from Shaolin Gao, very difficult to control. Lovely backhand topspin from Wayne Higginbottom. Brings him back to 1 point down. An excellent rally there. Finished off by cross-court drive from Shaolin Gao. Wayne went for the big winner and unfortunately overshot. And well, back to the right-hand side. Swing Tran is finding very, very difficult against Tatsuya Hidaka, and now down 1-6 in the second game. 2-6. We'll be back to the left-hand side with 10-8 with Shaolin Gao serving. Big forehand by Wayne Higginbottom, bringing you back to 10-9 down. Another serve from Shaolin Gao coming up. A backhand serve, that's unusual. Notice he turned the rubber around. Oh, Wayne, after a series of shots there, back to 10-all. Wayne Higginbottom to serve at 10-all in the first game. The ball has come over from the other court. This is an automatic let. Just long from Wayne Higginbottom, 11-10, game point against Shaolin Gao. Well done by Wayne. Quick jab from the forehand back down to the backhand of Shaolin Gao. Little jab from the pen-holder grip comes very quickly through to you and very difficult to play. There it is, 13-11. Shaolin Gao leading 1 game to love. Meanwhile, on the right-hand table, Tatsuya is not having it all his own way this time. It's 9-7 in the second game. He's gone to the big forehand across court, 9-8. Series of very nice shots by Swing, but Tatsuya managed to hit right through them to be 2 game points. One save by Swing. He seems to have been able to get Tatsuya to miss occasionally. Lovely shot. Swing, expecting the ball back down his backhand side. Wrong-footed by Tatsuya. 11-9 in the second game. Tatsuya leads 2-0. Lovely off forehand by Shaolin Gao. The lead 1-0 in the second game. We haven't seen him play that shot very much in the first game. A little dump back by Wayne caused an error from Shaolin Gao. Third game, Tatsuya Hidaka is serving to Swing Tran. He's leading 2-1. Now 3-1. Swing is still having trouble with that serve by the look of things. Lovely shots by Tatsuya, putting the pressure right on Swing, who is renowned for his ability to get these shots back. Oh. And the pressure has now caused him to serve a fault. Tatsuya leading 5-1. Oh, Wayne, after being in charge of the point, now down 5-2 after a lucky net from Gaolin Xiao. Oh, that's 5-3 now. Unable to handle that serve. There's that very fast backhand jab again. 6-3 to Shaolin Gao. And a cross-court forehand. 7-3. In the right-hand court, Swing is making a very good fist of the third game. He's down 5-6. Just missed on the forehand when he had Tatsuya way out of position. Tatsuya now leading 8-5 in the third. Oh, lovely forehand flat hit from Swing Tran. Tatsuya couldn't handle. Cross-court drive followed by one further down the middle of the table. Wins, takes him to 9-6. Oh, attempted big backhand spin, which missed by a considerable distance. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Shaolin Gao is now 1 point away from the second set. And on the right-hand side, Swing Tran serving to stay in the match. 10-8. In favour of Tatsuya. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Tatsuya Hidaka wins in straight sets, 11-8 in the third. The winner of the men's over 30 singles. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Shaolin Gao is now leading 2-0. Wayne Higginbottom to serve in the third game. Lovely forehand drive from Wayne, which Shaolin Gao places across court to 1-0 lead. Left. Shaolin Gao got away to a 3-0 lead in this game, which is very, very good if you're leading 2 games to 0. And there's that cross-court forehand that Wayne picks up, going for the big forehand himself, just misses. At the same time, we're now watching the final of the women's over 30 singles between Joanne Shaw of New Zealand. No, I've got the wrong one, haven't I? Between the over 50s between Lanzai of Victoria and Sarah Sandley of New Zealand. Lanzai is leading 2 games to 0 and 3-1 in the third, and this timeout's been called by Sarah. Gao Shaolin with a cross-court drive. Now leading 6-1 in the third against Wayne Higginbottom. 7-1. Wayne with a change of tactics there, was just tried to push around with Shaolin Gao. Oh, what lovely reflexes. Nine-1 now for Shaolin Gao. Meanwhile, on the left-hand side, Sarah Sandley has come back to 3 all now. 4-3 with a top-spin forehand down Lanzai's backhand. Series of cross courts. Lanzai always appeared to be out of position, but managed to recover to win the point 4 all. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Wayne is now 1 point away. Shaolin Gao is 1 point away from the victory. There it is, 11-2 in the third. On the left-hand side now, Sarah down 4-6 in the third set. 4-7 with a shot. She was just trying to lift it slowly across the net. A let serve. Lovely shot from Sarah, which Lanzai blocked back past her for an 8-4 lead. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, we have Erica Ito from New South Wales serving at 10 all in the third game. 11-10. Joe Shaw now. 11 all. Forcing the era of America. America serves 11 all. A high chop. Joe didn't like to try and put away. Big cross-court forehand, 12-11 in favour of Joe Shaw. Mind you, on the left-hand side with match point. Oh, missed it. Oh, forehand side. Miracle shots by Eriko Ito. She was way out of position, wide down her backhand side. Lanzai, the winner, 11-6 in the third in the women's singles. We now have Eriko Ito serving at 12 all. (13-12) to Joe Shaw. (14-12). Joe Shaw leads 2 games to 1. Eriko has done magnificently well to get this far. Actually, she has suffered from a shoulder complaint all this year, which is causing her considerable pain. Over 50 women's singles. No. I lie, over 30 women's singles. Gold medal makers. Yes, gold medal. They're all gold medal makers. Yeah. Joe Shaw to serve, leading 2-1. Lovely forehand topspin down Eriko's backhand. Eriko there managed to put it a little higher, causing Joe to overhit. Problem with the ball. Now being replaced. 1-all. Eriko with that deep, high chop, Joe's forehand, makes it very difficult to topspin, and Dover hits it. An error from Eriko, 2-all. Eriko has managed to get Joe into a few pushing rallies, which are her strength rather than Joe's. So that's now leading 4-2. And after 6, again, remembering that after 6 points, the girls are allowed to towel down. Nice top spin from Joe. Eriko over the far edge. The one suited her, hit it for a big winner. Very good chop wide down the forehand, brings the error, 4-5. That big forehand of Joanne's is causing Eriko a lot of trouble. And there's another one, 5-7. What a lovely recovery from Eriko Ito. 6-all. Another one of those slow pushes back to Joanne Shaw. Rushed the shot. 6-7. Six-eight to Eriko. Timeout has been called by Joanne Shaw. Remembering, each player is entitled to call one timeout in each match. Play to recommence. Eriko's leading 8-6. Oh, what great play by Eriko. Series of top spins from Joanne. 9-6 Eriko Ito. Oh, one huge backhand topspin drive. Eriko in chart 7-10 and a large wild forehand by Joe Shaw. 11-7 to Eriko Ito. Now the match has been evened up at 2 games all. Fifth game is about to start. When one player reaches 5 points, they will change ends. Eriko Ito to serve in the 5th game. Nice long rally, one all. Oh, another ball has bitten the dust. Well played by Eriko. Consistently getting that ball back and making Joanne make the run here. Net from Joanne. Makes the score 2-all. Attempted cross-court forehand drive from Joe into the bottom of the net. (4-2) for Erico. That shoulder has obviously caused her a lot of trouble because she would come in and hit previously, but obviously the pain from it is too much. Oh, lovely drive from Joe Shaw. Off drive, only Erico was unable to get to. Oh, there we go. 2 games all, 4 points all. Can't get any closer than that. Change of ends, Erico leads 5 points to 4. It's a lovely backhand flip from Joe Shaw, bringing the score to 5-all in the 5th game. And a big, attempted big forehand, which he was just leaning backwards on and missed. And that's something we don't see very often from the girls of this standard, a fault served. Unlike in games like tennis, where you get a second serve if you serve a fault, in table tennis, it's all over when you serve a fault. 8-5 to Erico. Nice little nothing serve wide down the forehand. Well played by Joe after Erico recovered.
Crossing the match point on that one over.
Over in the far court, we've got Buddy Reed and Igor Clough with a match point. Buddy has got it. Yes, he's done it. The old adversaries. The current world champion over 75s is also the Australian over 75 champion. In the meantime, Erico is now 9-7 over Joe Shaw. The serves to come. 9-7. Yes, he's hit a forehand at last. I've just been saying how bad his shoulder was, but she managed to get that 10-7. She had 3 match points. There it is. It's all over. The girl from Wagga Wagga in New South Wales is the Australian champion. 11-7 in the 5th game.
Congratulations, Ted. Great calling today. Well done, mate.